Okay.
That's good.
Hopefully this is working. I don't know. Good luck, Arthur. I hope you're well. Oh, but hi, Sonia. Okay.
Hi, Adam.
We were just talking, and I'm so grateful to be here with you because this week has been crazy. I watched the video that you shared with all of us from Sabrina Wallace, and it has me shook. And I wanted to go over it with you. Where did you come across this? How did you even find it in the first place? Like this like validates so many things that you have been saying, like so many people in different fields have like been saying. And how did you come across this?
It was the craziest thing. I watch a channel called Doug and Stacy Off Grid.
Okay.
Now, they had gotten off grid like, I don't know, maybe 12 or 15 years ago, because I don't remember exactly what. And they're talking about what it's like to get off grid and da 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 da. And Doug started waking up. I can't say his wife was waking up because they've been married like 20 some years, whatever. But Doug started waking up. And when Doug started waking up, he started slamming the information. Of
Okay.
course, his wife wasn't real happy about it. She tried to, separate that from their channel because that's not what their channel was about. But
Okay.
Doug is like, this is more important than anything. And so Doug's been slamming things that we've known about for years, but he's now discovering them for the first time. That's a process of waking up. So the other day, he did Sabrina Wallace, a couple clips from her thing, and I saw that, and I was like, wait a minute. I said, Arthur, find us Sabrina Wallace. We need to see the whole thing. And it was in really bad quality that he had posted because he
Yeah.
used his phone to record a phone or something. And it's like, oh, this is really bad quality. So Arthur found it. Sabrina Wallace is on Odyssey.
Yes.
So he found her and I did a quick little thing on it because I watched the whole thing. I watched it 4 times, not
See.
one, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times, because every time I watched it, more stuff was coming in. It's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah.
Sabrina Wallace, okay. If I put Sabrina Wallace on a scale of 1 to 100 for intelligence, I'm putting her up toward the top. And she speaks on that scale.
Right.
I am toward the bottom. I talk in layman's terms so everybody and their brother can understand what I'm talking about. I'm designed to talk to the masses on a very fifth grade, low level layman's terms. Yes, I am. So when I found Sabrina, of course, when she was talking, everything she was saying, it was already there. But she was putting technicality names to everything, but
Right.
it was still there. So all she did was correlate her information with the stuff that I had. I'm only designed to put things on layman's terms because I need to get across to the masses if they come across me so they'll understand and I won't lose them. So that's
Right.
how that was. But that's how I found her.
Okay. Um, because yeah, I watched the video and just like you, multiple times. And each time I'm like, more and more things are really becoming clear to me really freaking quickly. And yeah, that was last weekend. And then this whole week, it's just had me shook. It has like rattled so many things in me philosophically, like psychologically. Like there have been even moments where I've just like and I just yeah, and so if you talk at a fifth grade level, that I am down here as just a little country bumpkin. So I get it on a certain level, but it all makes sense, and it's really crazy and really hard, but it also I guess it's good to know, what's really going on. It has me angry, it has me upset, freaking out, but at the same time, like you're a strong person, I'm a strong person. Like we're obviously here for a reason right now, and
Yep.
it's becoming more and more clear to me each and every day. But when this is like what you yourself have been talking about for a while now in different illustrative terms.
Mm-hmm.
a different type of storytelling. And where were the direct sort of links between what she was talking about and what you have been talking about? Where were like the big ones that stood out to you?
Well, the one big thing is when she got toward the middle end and she was talking about when you die out of this avatar and you're going to just be going to your light. Go to the light. When Hollywood screams, go to the light, it's called go to the reincarnation system.
Right.
And you go back down underground. She said it was more like your energy goes back underground and then they recycle you, they wipe you and recycle you. Here's the thing, you wouldn't just be energy if you didn't have a base in something, because we're being projected into this. Okay, if you don't have a base, which would be a brain and spinal cord, because that's exactly what it is, you would then be free flowing, and at that point we would call you a ghost because you have nowhere left to go. You want to know where these ghosts come from? Because their brain and spinals have died and they're still trapped into this simulation and you have nowhere to go. That's why we have all these ghosts, because their brain and spinal has expired and they're still stuck in here because of the gridding system above and below. They can't get out etherically.
So like the idea that karma and a lot of this is just like a jobs program, that we're just sort of recycled in here, sort of doomed to work over and over and have them harvest our energy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So I know, Adam, I still have to apologize. When I first did a video with you and you really wanted to talk about this castle area and I sprung that brain and spinal cord thing on you and it just I needed to get it out, and I had just felt that you could handle it. On some level, you needed to know this because what's coming next is going to be a verification. I had no idea about Sabrina Wallace. The day I posted the video, I had just found out about her the day before from, that channel I was watching. I looked into it, found her. Arthur had told me, he goes, Sonia, did you go on her channel and look on her channel? And I'm like, well, no, not really. I was just doing the one video over and over and over. He goes, Sonia, you need to go on her channel. And I said, oh, okay. He goes, go into the content on Odyssey. And he said, scroll down a little bit. And I was like, oh, okay. Guess what was on there? A video of me ranting and raving about this horrible reality. So she had found out about me before I found out about her. But isn't it funny how things work?
Right. Right. I have definitely been perusing the Odyssey channel, and it's just, again, more things just keep sort of coming.
Yeah, so have I. I've been perusing every video she's done, or of other people.
Well, and she talks about Wisconsin a lot, and I'm like, does she live in Wisconsin still? Because I'm like, I just want to, in my world, she's relatable AF. I mean, she gets called a tranny all the time. The Assassin's Creed OST, like I understand. I understand, and I see her just like going back and forth with. She seems particularly angry at some like radio frequency community or something. I have no idea what she's talking about, but she seems like upset about that, and I don't understand all that, so I can't really comment to it. But I appreciate her approach to all of this.
Seems to me that her biggest bitch, and she's very valid in this bitch, is that we don't recognize our aura field being a part of our body. I've always known it's a part of your body. It's connected to your pineal and pituitary gland. It is through your sixth sense, but this aura field is extraordinarily important. Without it, it would be like going into battle naked. Literally. You can expand your aura field. They have an estimated approximation that you can expand it about 50 feet in circumference around you, or you can shrink it to your body. If you're expanded in here, you could expand your aura field through the entire snow globe. We are all powerful gods, and no one knows it. Right. And if I could expand my entire aura field Could I not raise the vibration? Of course you could. And the more of us that do this and raise the vibration, the dark side don't like it. They have to go crawl underground and get away and turn us into AI bots so they can enslave us and take us with them, because the higher the frequency, the less they can handle it, because it's like nails on a chalkboard to them. This is why they want to shut down immediately. Why are they throwing everything at us all of a sudden when it should have been over time to indoctrinate slowly? Because they're on the run. They're on the run.
Well,
we're waking up way too fast.
Not to go off subject, but they seem to be throwing a lot at you recently. That deer video was quite disturbing.
Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah, what the hell? What was that about?
Well, they've been throwing more than that at me.
Okay.
You know that my brother comes back December the 1st, and he has said, I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to talk to you after, but let me tell you what this is about.
Uh-oh. Okay.
My brother had a lot of these people that have been injected with this stuff, they're now running on a different system. They're cyborgs, and they're being remote controlled. My brother said that he wanted to live in Taiwan for the rest of his life. He wanted to sell his house and move there. And then all of a sudden, after he got all of these, he's like, nope, they offered me to stay another year. I turned it down. I got to come home. I said, Kai, you hate it here. You love it there. Why are you coming home? He goes, no, I have to. Well, after the deer video, he called me the very next day, remote controlled, and told me that I'm going to have to get my cats out of the house, pack up everything I have in boxes, get it out of his house. And then he told me that I haven't hit rock bottom yet. And this house is preventing me from hitting rock bottom. And it would be good for me to hit rock bottom. He told me to get rid of the cats, get rid of all my belongings. And then he told me to get rid of the one person in my life who's always been standing by me besides my daughter, Arthur. Said, you need to dump him. And it's like, you need to be on your own. And he said this verbatim. You need to be all alone. And then I'm going to kick you out on the street. When I first came here, he told me, because before he got all of his bioweapons, let's call them what they are, he told me that no matter what happened in my reality, as long as he had his big house, I would, have a place to stay. That has completely changed. Completely. And it's like, whoa, like overnight. And it's like, oh, yeah, the dark side, I'm getting too close, and it's getting hot in here. Hot, baby, hot. It's getting hot. And they are putting the fire underneath of me.
I have a lot of things I want to ask you about that. Maybe we can talk about that later. But holy shit. Okay, so you're definitely shook right now.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm sorry. What timing, so this is okay, so this is what's going on then. So with the SHOTs, you're literally connected to all of this and can and are controlled. Yes. Okay.
We are already connected differently, because right. I looked into this because Sabrina said something about in 1922 they actually started connecting us.
Well, that's the thing. It's going on forever, I guess.
Yeah.
I've
been watching Jeff Snyder on his channel. You know Jeff Snyder, do you?
Yeah.
Well, he's talking about behind the ear and behind the brain, there are tracking devices being put there. But Sabrina said that we're being born with them. So somewhere along the line, through this indoctrination since the end of the 1700s, they've been putting tech inside of us. So, but the tech was running on a different frequency with different motivations. They did not have the technology at that point to turn you into complete cyborg with all the towers. Okay, that's the difference.
So it's really bad right now.
It's really bad. It's really bad. They could drop us. All they got to do is shut off the signals, which would shut off the DNA. Because remember, I did a video on disconnecting you from source and connecting you to AI. They could literally just shut us off, shut the DNA off. You're going to drop.
Because they're using our DNA as the signal. So to stop the signal, you would have to stop. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this, but I did a video on when we had that alert system go off a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was to set everybody up on one system that took those bioweapons.
Okay.
And now it's showing that it's run by Apple. The people are connectable, and you can go into them, and it's pages of information on them. Can connect to these people now. Not everybody's coming up connectable, but a lot of them are.
Okay. What kind of, not me prying, but like what kind of information like comes up? Is it just like receipts? Is it like text messages? Is it picture? Like what is it just random?
Well, you first off, go onto your if you have a Play Store, whatever you have, you can go and upload the BLE meter. So
Okay.
you're going to turn on your Bluetooth, and then you're going to put on the app of the BLE, and then you'll go in. You can do either it comes up like this, or you can go at the very top. It's a proximity meter. It looks like a thing like a windshield wiper.
Okay.
And if you go into that one, it'll tell you from where you're standing out to 100 feet who is connectable device. So yes, that's pretty bad. So
Yeah.
then the next one is if you go to the main page instead of the proximity meter, they'll come up and you can hit the green bar that says connect. So you hit the green bar, and all of a sudden all these pages will come up. And then you can go into the individual pages, and it goes into specifics of each page. I was looking at that going, oh my God, there's all kinds of information in there. You'll have to do it, try it yourself.
Okay.
And then you'll see at the very last page, I think it's page number 6, there's a bar where you can type stuff in. What's that all about?
Just leaving comments in their brain, like
Uh-huh. Please upload the BLE meter and get on top of it and see what I'm talking about. Now, here's the next thing. I know that some of them are not connectable devices, which means they may already be connected to the Apple, whoever owns Apple, and they're being run by Apple. So the ones that are connectable are still able to be tapped into on a low generic level. And the other ones that are probably not connectable, it's because they're already being run by Apple and you can't get into them. And I've noticed over the last, because I keep looking at my BLE meter, more and more people are becoming non-connectable devices, which means somebody's already connected to them. Yeah.
So one of the things you had mentioned, like just being on a higher vibration, when I came across this information, like I didn't know how would I even go about telling someone this, like the people in my life, my family, people I work with. Like it's so weird because about 3 weeks ago, I had a conversation about this with work people, because they just one of those stupid experiences where you are telling a joke, in the middle of the woods, and then you get back home and you go onto YouTube and the first ad is about the joke you just said, in the middle of the woods, and you're like, how did it even pick up on that? I didn't have my phone, there was no microphone, but they obviously are there already in your field, in the ambient air, is that what they call it, around
Yeah.
you? So I was just like, what is going on? And I remember talking to my coworkers about this, and it was just a very light conversation. I'm just like, how did they do it? And it was like, you're crazy, like you are crazy. Like it wasn't even a thing. So to go about like telling people about this, I'm just like kind of lost. So I haven't actually told anyone in my life, that I found this information, or that you shared it or anything like that, because I just like don't know how. I don't know if I want to. It's like a very weird thing that's going on for me psychologically with all of this.
Yeah.
Does this make sense to you?
Yes, and I can tell you, I have it too. And see, I'm the kind of person. I'm a bull in the china shop. I'll be
Right.
breaking everyone's glasses. But I have found that if you are unwilling completely to see reality for what it is, you won't, because you won't want to. and you'll start screaming and yelling and deeming everyone insane. You're possessed by the devil. You're evil. No, it's not a part of my reality. Yeah. You have a part of the populace, they're laying in bed, and even if you took an ice bucket of water and threw it in their face and all over them, they would just sit in their bed and shake because they won't move. They're immobile. Here, they're completely immobile. They don't want to move. They don't want to know. Faith was telling me she had a teacher, and she was talking to them about some of this stuff with the BLE meter. And she asked the teacher, do you want to know about any of this? You know what he said? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. No, 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 no. This is a college professor.
Well, I mean, it's so doomsday, you know, it is so doomsday. And there's nothing, I guess unless you come to it naturally on your own, that's probably the best thing, you know, but like other than like learning how to protect yourself, like she talks about like the whole biofield manipulation and using your aura and like figuring out those techniques, stuff that, I mean, people that probably come into this information already know. Like I'm like, oh, that's what that is, and I'm like, oh, I've been doing this for my whole life. You know what I mean? And I just don't know what to do. It's just been very, like I said, very psychologically going kind of nuts. But where do we go from here? You know, they can hear our thoughts. They know everything. You know.
Here's the thing: they always have. We're in a sim. We've had this tech since 1922, but it's just been elevated to be more cyborgy. That's what I can say. If you needed to break an entire race out of the slavery that they've been put into, you got to start somewhere. When I go out into the world, I don't slam them with everything I know. I'll just say a few things and see if they can handle even that. If they can and they're still standing there, maybe a little bit more. How about a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down? You know, you're going to have to do it with kindness, a little bit of levity. Find things that are acceptable. I noticed that if you turn a lot of things into a joke and you make it comical, believe it or not, the seed can still be sown. You can wake people up easier with a joke than you can with hard, cold, harsh reality. True. You know, put it on a level where it's like, yeah, what if? And then, you know, whatever. I do a lot of what ifs. What if? Because you might be able to handle that because it gives you an option. You don't have an option, but you think you have an option. What if? I mean, yeah.
It's had me like rethink so many things, like within my own family, you know, with the people who have taken the whatever and the people who haven't, how things have changed. And again, then the anger comes up that this is, you know, video game manipulating people, you know. And I try not to dip into like the solipsism and all of that, but it's just it's been a very weird week. And I don't know, I hope that Sabrina girl, yeah, I hope she lives in Wisconsin. I'd love to meet her, to just like, you know, come across someone who also,
well, you could always go to her Odyssey channel. I listed the channel where I saw her video, and I listed her Odyssey channel. Well, I didn't do it. Arthur did, because he does all that stuff for me. And you could always leave a comment, let her know that.
See, this is the thing. Like, I've tried all that. For some reason, the computer will not let me contact her in any way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've tried like, again, I'm a simple country bumpkin, but like I've tried like 4 different ways to contact her, and it won't let me. So
okay, if you're not being able to contact her, there's an issue, because anybody can leave a comment on Odyssey.
No, it won't let me comment on there. It's crazy. It just says, yeah. I don't know if that's just something on my end, but I've tried a couple days trying to do that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But some things that have come to mind for me, again, regarding all of this, is the whole like Atlantis catastrophe, and that this technology seems to be the same technology that brought down that whole thing, you know,
Yep.
the corruption. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's just had it again, so many things have just been connecting in my mind. And in a way, in a weird way, like I love obviously the whole like Tartaria architecture and all of the beautiful like castles and like the ruins and stuff like that.
Yes.
But there has been like this weird like shift in the background of my mind where I'm like, okay, it's so beautiful and I'm so drawn to it. But what if that the way they were harvesting energy and everything like that, like even though it was, you know, Tartaria and grand and everything like that, that beauty could be, we look
Just
back at it like, oh, it was so great, so great. But these people that were living in that could be in the same, probably were in the same position we are in right now, where we are controlled, surveilled, you know, the whole thing, you know. And I almost look at the Tartaria stuff and all that architecture now as like so macabre in this like so beautiful that it's sick in a way that again it's all about the frequency. And I don't know, just a lot of uncomfortable feelings around that whole stuff as my mind has been again slowly breaking around all of this.
mm-hmm.
Because I loved all the Tartaria stuff and I still do, you know. I love the architecture and the castles and that whole concept of like using free energy. And but again,
Well,
that too can be, you know, perverted into this. And the
I
people
will
living
tell
in it.
you, Adam, they weren't perverted in the beginning. It became perverted. We were literally conquered as a species. We
Yeah.
had high tech. It wasn't about warring because that's not where we were. Please feel secure in who you are, that that is not what we were. What happens when a species comes in and they devastate you? They devastated humanity. They took us over. They devastated us. And then they corrupt parts of humanity to be their eyes, their ears, their legs, their hands, because they needed to have minions to control the masses. One of the main things I see in the whole Tataria thing is that when this thing went off, it didn't go off in just little sections. It got hit universally. Okay. So when they came in, and I'm going to call them what they are, the reptilian dark AI. Not all reptilians are dark, but the majority are because they're AI. When they came in, they did everything they could to take down humanity and make it under the yoke of them. And they devastated everything unilaterally all at once. So, yes, the reason there was so much beauty, you're not going to have beauty in architecture if it's on the negative. You're going to make everything cubistic and brutalism.
Oh my God, don't get me started.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the beauty comes from love in the heart. You're expressing with art. That does not come from darkness. That comes from love and light. Now, I'm not saying that we should all just be love and light because we have righteous anger. We have many emotions and we're allowed to have all these emotions because they had taken that love and light and turned it into a weapon against us. Love everyone. Everyone's equal. No, they're not. Do you think that Jack the Ripper is equal to you? You think that these pedos killing children are equal to you? No. Hell no. There's a lot of twisting in
Yeah.
love and light. I mean, it has been weaponized against you to make you inactive. Mhm. I'm going
Okay.
to tell you that if you want to achieve the highest goal, you'll have to love and light and do nothing else. Stand down. You know what corruption is? When good men stand down. There's your corruption. Do you know what evil is? When good men stand down. There's your evil. If you don't fight for something, you'll have nothing left to fight for.
So right on cue, I've never experienced this before, but Zoom has just sent me a message. I didn't realize now that unless you are on some upgraded plan, that you only get a certain amount of
Hi.
time. Damn.
I
Okay.
thought,
We're at like we have 8 minutes left. I feel so ancient. I haven't used this since the last time we talked, and I'm like, I don't remember that, but okay. So just I want to cross off like two things on my list then quick. One of the mantras that Sabrina kept repeating, and I as a born and raised Catholic, really resonated with was the "this is my body," you know, reclaiming in that sort of way. Do you have any other sort of mantras or suggestions similar in that vein to help, again, protect and all that biofield?
I always say arm up your own biofield. Think of it as armor and layer with everything. Use oscillating keys in your mind so it can't be undone. And the oscillating keys means that even if you have a key that fits, in the next moment, it won't fit because it's oscillating. So arm yourself up mentally with your biofield, oscillating keys. No one's breaking into this. I do that.
Okay. You also have been using dragons, am I correct?
Dragons. And dragons are not dragons out there. They're from in here. It's your own energy. Design them however you like.
Well, I just thought it was fascinating when you figured out that you can like clean the energy around you through your own digestional tract. That I was like, well, duh, but also like, how fucking cool, you know?
Yeah.
I had no idea that that was
amazing.
yeah, like good work there. I was like, wow. But do you have any like other things that you wanted to discuss before this closes out? I had one other thing, and it's a little bit strange.
Go ahead.
She had showed in one of her illustrative posters something called like meta symbols, and it was the one she had some examples there. A couple of them stood out to me, sort of like the meandering patterns, but also the SWASTIKA symbol. And I just thought like how fascinating that if that is one way to like protect yourself from some sort of frequency or some sort of manipulation, like how genius in a way to have that symbol sort of be how it is now, because you wouldn't be able to keep a job, you wouldn't be able to like really exist in society, at least. I don't know how it is where you live, but people are like nuts here about stuff like that. Certain shapes really get people going for some reason.
Yeah.
And that's a big one, and the idea that you could protect yourself on some level if you had that around you. I don't know. So the whole like meta symbol thing I thought was really, really interesting. And I just wondered if you had any thoughts on any of that.
I do know, remember that the dark ones always do inversion, big time
Right.
inversion. So they'll take something that's for the positive and twist it to the negative because it's not quite the same symbol. They've actually flipped it like it's a mirror image of that. So, but no, I don't really do symbols or hand gestures, and I
Okay.
just do my shielding.
The shielding. Do you know what was she talking about with like the mirrors? Do you have any idea about that? Like using mirrors in some sort of protection?
Well, I don't really do mirrors, but I do know the worst mirror, the black mirror, is actually the phones, the
Right.
TVs, what have
Right.
you.
Right.
I mean, they are the black mirrors. Not that you have to make a black mirror because this tech's been around forever.
Right.
And some of the superstitions from the tech has lasted throughout, time. Those are the true black mirrors.
Okay. I'm just like preparing myself for being called a witch and burned at the stake in the coming months, you know.
Can you
Um,
imagine me too?
but but it has really invigorated me in a lot of different ways, this whole thing, even though again it is all very, very shocking. It's not stuff we didn't already know. It just is now, I guess, being really, really honest about it. And it is fascinating. The technology one is for some reason, and like people, they just they know, it's like they know about it, but they won't be honest with themselves about it. Like whatever that sort of, I don't want to use the word program, but like whatever that is, it's like very, very strong where they just like won't go there. It's like it's crazy, you know.
Yeah. That's called Adam. I don't want to get out of bed. Leave me alone. I'm putting the cover over my head. I can't take it. It all comes down to how strong are you? Are you a coward? Are you going to quiver in your bed because the monster's right outside your bed? Or are you going to throw the cover off, jump up, and say, I'll see you now on my own terms?
We're at war, Sonia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are.
We've
And
been
I
at
can
war for a very long time.
we're at war. We've been at war. We're not going into war. We've already been there.
Right,
We're in it now. It's not going to happen. We're in it.
right. Okay, well, this has been refreshing. Thank you for filling up my cup. It has been great talking with you. Um, Again, anybody who sees this, please go check out Sabrina Wallace. I think it's like Psi Energy on
High energy. Mm-hmm.
yes, Odyssey. It'll blow your
Mm-hmm.
mind. It has me shook. And thank you, Sonia, for sharing that with everyone because
Thank you, Adam.
yeah, it's been great. But anyways, I'll talk to you soon. Love you so much.
All right, bye.